Hello, it's Mealtickets in the bag by popular demand from Rich Hatton. So, here's the 79 discs I throw, believe it or not. Yep, every one of these makes it into the bag sometimes, some of them all the time. I'm going to try and explain the logic behind it and build a couple of bags to show you how I use it. A couple of main things that are quite noticeable compared with other people. I throw a lot of different moulds and I don't often have more than one of the same disc in the bag, is number one. Number two, I've learned to avoid really special discs. So lots of people have got them, that destroyer that's absolutely perfect. No other destroyers like it, throw it in the lake, can't replace it. Don't like those, don't have them. I buy discs I can replace, or I'll use unusual discs if I've got a spare for them, and then I'll tend to not throw them in high risk shots anyway. Right, onto the discs. So we'll start with, show you what the bags are. That is a Gorilla Boy Gorilla. Best bag I've ever owned. It's huge, holds 22 discs-ish and some junk. Really well constructed. This is getting on for 10 years old now and it's still pretty much intact, which is amazing. Things I carry in there all the time, regardless of anything else. What have we got here? Vitamin I, standard. A Sharpie, absolutely vital for anyone organised. Water bottle. Bright marker, less foot faults. And sunglasses, absolutely vital for a specky twat like me anyway. Then the other bag I carry is also Gorilla Boy. It's a spider monkey, little small thing, holds about a dozen. That's the marker with this bag. It's a Bedworth Carabiner Mini, quite cool. Strangely, I only own one water bottle at the moment, so that's in that bag. Then also a load of towels, at least one pink one in each bag, and the rest is a right old mix. And chamois for the rain, very important. Right, onto the discs. Start with the actual putting putters. I've got two Spartas. I rotate discs when I've got backup so that their wear levels stay the same, so could be either of these. One of them will go in the main bag with the Mini. The other one stays spare. KCADRs. I've got this 9x1 from 1999. I bought it. Pretty amazing. It's old. But the ones I mainly use these days are a 10-year-old one and a 1-year-old one. I'll tend to carry the white one for tournaments, the older of the two. And I almost always carry one of those in the small bag when I'm on those kind of hand luggage only trips. Next, the fast putters. There's a lot of these. 4 different molds. Classic rock in glow DX plastic, very rare. These are from the Mendips tournament in some year or other, 2014. Lovely disc. Let's see. Yeah, fast putter, slightly unstable, nice and controllable, got some heft to it. So there'll always be one in the main bag, usually not in the small bag. Pures, I have quite a few of these, but I only really use the hard plastic ones, so there's 5 of them. I carry one in the main bag and one in the smaller bag. They're just dead straight. Reasonable glide, very controllable, and you can putt with them as well. They're real putters. Jokeries. This one's had an ace. Oh, Hatton's explain what they do. Very overstable. Throw it pretty damn hard and it will go 45-50 metres and hook. This ace was about a 55 metre throw. That's pretty near the limit that I can do anything controlled with one of these. I will almost always carry one in both bags. Got some base plastic ones for if I know it's going to rain a lot. These are a bit grittier. Harp. Why has it got harps and jokeries? Seems a reasonable question. Basically, I can get away with throwing the harps a little bit harder. Don't know why. So I can get these up to about 60 metres, and for the 55-metre shots, I'm more likely to use this for ball control. I will carry one in the main bag, not so often in the small bag. That's all the putters. So in the main bag, that's 6. In the small bag, that's 3. Next, mid-ranges. Got 3 patrols. Trilogy challenge ones and standard. All very similar, heavy. Really nice, understable mid. Quite a pronounced turn, but controllable. For some reason they discontinued it, so that's why I've made sure I've got 3. And if anyone else has got some, I'm interested. So there'll always be one of those in the main bag. Not so often in the small bag. Next, claymores, octoplastic. These are just mainly I use them for pretty straight shots. It's got a slight turn, slight fade, very easy to control, and I can really power it and it behaves itself. Pretty much always carry one, so there'll be one in each bag. Compasses. When I said the claymores were straight, these are straighter. They don't have any turn at all. They've got a bit of a fade, but it's not strong. So it's a bit of an overstable mid, but I can use it as a reliable line drive disc. And yet again, I can put some power into it and it behaves. I'll definitely carry these all the time, so one in each bag. And maces. These are a little bit more overstable. Again, go back to that harp. I would use that for some of the mid-range shots where I want an overstable shot as well, just because I can throw it hard, so it doesn't have to be crazy overstable, these maces, but it's overstable enough. I will carry one of those in the main bag, not so often in the small bag, not necessary. Jokery kind of covers it. Now, fairway drivers. Start flipping. Archangels. Just great old school disc, really flippy, huge wide. I tend to use them for a high turnover shot, going around corners, heading to the right. And yeah, that's about it. Occasionally there'll be something sneaking through the trees. Always carry one in the main bag. Yeah, generally one in the smaller bag as well. Then we've got laseries. These are just very consistent, slightly understable, but a more controlled turn, and I can get it to just pop up and hold straight lines as well. So good for when I want to thread my way through the trees, and it will get a decent distance as well. So yeah, I will generally carry one in either bag. So in they go. Undertakers. These are lovely, really straight disc. Got pretty much no turn and no fade. Just unbelievable when I first threw one of these. So yeah, threw it once, knew I needed them, so got 3 of them. This is the one I had an ace at the British Open last year, so if there's any risk whatsoever on the course, I'm not bringing it. But it's beautiful. Then got these 2, both pretty heavy. Strange enough, I like heavy discs. And I will always carry one in the main bag. Not really necessary in the small bag, because eagles, a little bit more curvy than the Undertakers. The stability is overall similar, but it's not straight. It will turn a little bit and it will fade a little bit. And I've been using these since they first came out. First run that I had an ace with. So these ones are all-star. 2 of them fairly stiff. One's a bit floppy, which I only really use in cold weather. But again, I'll always carry one of these, so one in both bags. respected. These are just splendid. I've got this Premium Line one, which I'm going to be hitting a lot of hard things at SCADA discs. I'd use that, but nearly all the time I use these Ultriums, which they're even the right colour, both of them, but they're just lovely. Very slow, so I can use it as an overstable mid as well. Just absolutely no turn at all. Very overstable finish, so with that very low speed and stability, it's utterly reliable as long as I don't want to go more than 65 metres. Very accurate. So I will definitely always carry one of those, so one in each bag. And the last of the fairway drivers, the Triple X. Got 2 of these again. They're quite a bit faster than the Respecties, so probably a speed 9. Even more overstable finish. So where people use a Firebird, I use that. So you can get just enough extra distance that's worth carrying both. And again, this is one I always carry, so one in each bag. And that's all my fairway drivers, so that is 6 of those in the main bag and 5 of them in the small bag. I'm heavy on the fairway drivers on those lightweight travelling tournaments. I know where the workhorses are. Onto the fast stuff, high speed drivers. This is pretty much, I think it's the only main bag disc I've got that I don't have a backup for, Rich Hatton, order some. Basically only use it for rollers. It's very fast, very unstable, all the weight's out of the rim, so it just keeps spinning. So yeah, I can get big rollers out of it. Occasionally I use it to get out from under a bush, but that's pretty rare. But yeah, that'll always be in the main bag. Rarely ever take it as for a smaller in the small bag, just because it's very situational. West Side Queens. These are sort of one of my best drivers just for out and out distance. It's slightly unstable. It's got a bit of fade, but not huge. Very, very fast, but I can throw it without much effort and it will just keep gliding. So really useful pure distance disc. Just about copes with the wind. So I will pretty much always carry one of those. So one in each bag. Next, Legenda Pro Discus. They are about the same amount of turn as a Queen, not quite as fast, and a bit more fade. Again, I'll use this as a distance disc rather than a control. It seems to need a bit more airspace to get away with, so I wouldn't bring this into a woodland course, for example. That will definitely always be in the main bag, but not so often in the small bag. A lot of people will have seen these two, the Philo Blackflame Swirl Star Destroyers. These are the straightest destroyers I've ever thrown. These are total workhorses for me. If I only had one driver, there's a good chance it would be this. It just goes where I throw it, and it goes a decent distance, and it really copes with the wind well. So, yeah, pretty much always have one of these in the bag, so one in each. And that is the last disc I will put in the Spider Monkey bag. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 12 discs in there. And that would do me for a hand luggage only tournament. And yeah, there may be some variation in what discs go on there if I know enough about the course or if the weather's going to be really grim. But that will generally do it. Now, the last couple of discs to go into the main bag. I have some Slideys here, which are a little bit more overstable than that Philo Destroyer. They've got some fade. I will generally, this one, if the wind's up, I will use this Ultrium one. It's a bit more straight to fade, nothing going on with this. The Premium Line ones, they've got a little bit of turn, so I can get some distance out of these. Just that little bit of extra glide can be useful, but the fade is still just as strong. So yeah, always one of them in the main bag, whichever one's in my hand at the time. discus. This is ultra plastic. Very fast, very overstable. It's got a little bit of turn, but it's so fast I don't often throw it hard enough to see any of that. And pretty wind resistant. So yep, always be one of those in the main bag. And that bag is now complete. So there's 22 discs in here, looking like that. Towels will go down the sides, wherever. Still plenty of space for other junk, whatever I need to carry on the course, but that depends on what day it is and how hungry I am and all sorts of other things. And now then, there's some oddities. First with a beer. So these are things that entirely dependent on what I know about the course, if there's something special there, what I know about the weather, if there's something I've got to take into account. So we'll start with everyone's favourite, you all want to see it, blowflies. And it's Easter weekend, we should be at Mull. This is the disc. In flight, it makes no sense at Mull at all. It's a slow, understable mid, pretty hopeless in the wind. However, for approaching and putting upside down, it's just great because it doesn't go anywhere when it hits a rock, it just sticks and stops. So that's really useful, and I would only really bring it for a rocky course. There's nowhere else it's relevant, so I think possibly my Jas might be, I'd consider it, but everywhere in Britain it's over Mull. Then we've got some high-speed drivers. I don't really mess with the fairway drivers, it's only the high-speed stuff that I'll change up for. So for understable stuff I've got this Octo Rakuten, so the hex plastic, very fast, flippy as hell, good glide, so a distance disc. This DDX, which is dynamic disc, I believe, no, Discmania, which is just crazy fast and pretty flippy, another just silly distance disc. Then we've got, this is kind of my favourite of the stupid discs, the Gateway Slayer. Very difficult to control, but just huge distance, and it makes you grin. It's fun to throw. So if there's any excuse to carry that, I'm bringing it. This one is a pdga Torrent, complete opposite to the Slayer really. It's absolutely predictable, very straight flyer, feels heavier than it is and doesn't have a lot of glide, so it's all about the control. It's not going to get me any magic distance, but if I'm in tight situations and there's like a lot of woodlands or whatever, it's worth considering having this as my line drive extra. And I've got all sorts of destroyers, so these Blizzard Champion lightweight ones, what's that, 158, and the weight's worn off this one, but similar. Pretty lightweight, but they're about as near as I can get to the Philos for flight characteristics. Obviously a bit sketchy in the wind at lightweights, but in nice calm weather, that's decent backup for the Philo ones, or if I'm going to a high risk course, but I still want that straight workhorse, I'll bring these instead. And got some nice yellow destroyers. Don't know why they fly so similar. It can't be just that they're yellow, but a Philo one and a Standard Star. They're just a bit more overstable than the Philo one, the other Philo, the pink Philo ones. Calvin Heimberg one, a little bit more overstable again, almost as overstable as these two Bosses. Guess where these last few, it's all about the windy weather. Macbeth Destroyer, wonderful colour, absolute meat hook, so great in high wind situations. And the last one, an ape, ridiculously overstable, bit faster than a Destroyer. It will cope with the wind. And there we go. Cheers.